I want to warn Junet Mohammed, who is my friend, Farah Mohammed, who is my friend, and people like them. Let Kenyans remain as Kenyans, regardless of whether they are Somali or Kikuyu or Luo or Luya or anything or Pokomo. Wasitulete hiyo ujinga hiyo.
A very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Gerald Kibra. I'm so glad that you join us every single day for political conversations to build both the policy and politics happening in this country. Prof, great to see you today. We're looking at a situation that we didn't anticipate as we're starting this year. Clash between politicians saying that the Somali are being attacked in Kenya because they're in leadership. Junet Mohammed posted this saying it is very unfortunate that a disgruntled group in the government of Kenya from a region led by the Wamitego tribalist see Nurdin Haji as a soft spot to hit on the president. It began with a statement in Mombasa, now recruited his co-conspirator, the former AG, unable to accept that a Somali is DG of NIS. Francis Gaedo, who is an activist, says the Somali cartels control our security apparatus, including Nurdin Haji, who's at NIS, Mohammed Amin, who's at DCI, and Aiden Duale, who was CS for Defense. Says something is terribly wrong with what is happening in the country. Do you read from the same script that we are getting people who are of Somali origin here in Kenya and therefore poses a threat to those who think they are Kenyans?
You know, this discussion is there. It's not just in Kenya. Even political science has the concept of the sovereign citizen. So there are those who may view Somali as not sovereign enough.
Oh.
And wonder, why would you entrust sensitive organs, state organs, to people who are not sovereign citizens? It is further complicated by the fact that, and I'm sure you know this, that every Somali, ethnic Somali, you only need to be a Somali. When you are Somali, you automatically you are citizens of Somalia.
Okay.
All of them, wherever you are.
Born in Kenya.
Yeah. When Somali too, wherever you are.
Okay.
The concept of the 5-star of the Somali flag also complicates issues. The Somali in Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia itself.
Okay.
So it is a discussion that is on the table. It has been on. It is just complicated by the fact that the Somali have been given conspicuously, visibly sensitive. But it is those who don't like it, I personally don't see much problem with it. But those who don't like it have themselves to blame.
Why so?
When two sides are fighting, they look for a neutral person. When PNU and ODM were fighting, they pull a Somali on IBC, Isaka Hassan.
Oh.
Yeah. When Ruto and Uhuru are fighting Raila, they pull a Somali on Ekapal. So why are they complaining? It is their own problem. But nevertheless, it's a discussion that people have had in other parts of the world, where people feel some people are not really citizen enough. And let nobody misquote me, please. I know a little English.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people cast doubts on some groups of persons.
Could it be that there is this fear that that group is becoming bigger and bigger in Kenya? You've said it before that someone like C.S. Joho could actually become the president of this country. Is there this fear that some of these communities are feeling that their power is dwindling every single day?
It's not a question of fear, it's a question of reality. It's a demographic reality that the Muslim, which is a much wider cover than Somali, Muslim, demographically, you can't keep them away from the presidency in a couple of years from now. 2-3 elections, it will be theirs for the taking.
Okay.
So that's a reality. It's a demographic reality. Yeah.
What do you make of this tribal rhetoric that comes every single time someone is attacked? I think when the bishops were speaking against police brutality, Gen Z,
they said he's attacking the Kalenjin.
The Kikuyu now are
attacking the Kalenjin.
And now
it's a Kenyan thing.
It's a Kikuyu now attacking the Somali.
Yeah, because we operate the politics of identity. And identity politics that militarize the tribe. There's nothing wrong with ethnicity. There's nothing wrong with the tribe. But it is militarized for politics.
Okay.
And therefore, when somebody is being censured, when somebody has done something wrong, like clearly theft of public resources, and is taken to DCI or
NIS.
The other thing, no, NIS.
ESCC.
Another person has gone there, another Muslim has gone there. And they are more than you counted. They are everywhere, so including military intelligence and whatever. People will always say, tunamalizwa, mtu wetu tunalengwa. So it's a Kenyan problem. And it's because we practice politics of identity. Yeah.
What do you think led to the decision of maybe the president nominating these Somali communities into these dockets that are very powerful in this country? Could there be a reasoning behind it?
We call it the home of engineers. We train you how to make engineering drawings. We have a brilliant drawing and detailing program that will not only train you how to draw and detail, but you'll also learn how to draw and detail using the software.
AutoCAD. By the time that you're going to university, you'll be able to do AutoCAD by yourself. Imagine if they are asking you to just do that project for them.
Once you have these tools, you will not only be industry ready, but you will be ahead of your peers in the job market, and it will give you a brilliant competitive edge while looking for a job.
I would like to advise the students who are done with maybe high school, and also if you've graduated from university, colleges, and you've done a course related to civil engineering, building, architect, so that you can join here because it has a lot of practical works.
Welcome to SciTech.
Identity. The Somali people are a close-knit group. They identify with each other a lot more. They work for each other a lot more than the rest of us. They are still much more united than the rest of us. And therefore, when it comes to lobbying for a job, believe me, they know how to lobby. They know how to lobby for their own. They know how to lobby for their own.
Could it be that they have been discriminated in the past? I think there was this conversation when the president promised that there will be issuance of identification cards to them. Could it be that the president is trying now to resolve the issues that the community has been facing before, not being perceived as really Kenyans?
You know, all those sort of things are the ones that promote what I'm saying, group identity. That could even be counterproductive at a national level.
How so?
Because, in our history, the Somali have had a problem as a community. So that you go and get your ID because you are a Kenyan. Straight away. Baba yako ni nani, mama ni nani, straight away unapata ID. A Somali akiingia pale anaambia ngoja kwanza. Step aside. You see?
Yeah.
2-3 years ago, had to intervene for a fellow who was looking for a passport. A distant relative of mine. Because he had a Muslim name. And simply because the mother comes from Busia, in a Muslim family. So he brought that Muslim name to him via his mother.
Yeah.
It really haunted him. And he was going to Canada for an opportunity. I really fought hard to convince these people. First of all, what's wrong with somebody having a Muslim name? And they come from wherever. Secondly, how does that really prevent a young man from pursuing their dreams in Canada? I'm lucky, I'm happy that they listen to me, and it takes long. Once you apply for a passport and you have a Muslim name, Somali name, file yako kwanza inawekwa kando.
Okay.
So those things,
yeah.
And the discrimination, and there was a physical aspect to it, the shifter war. in the then called NFD, Northern Frontier District, there was a really shifter problem. That's when we first heard of things like mines. We were kids. Lori ya jeshi na pita mahali na kanyaga mine inarushwa juu. So there's a history to it. And successive governments have dealt with this problem differently. I think it is more you first try to embrace the Somalis and put them in strategic places, including like the Haji now, the Haji family, rising to become provincial commissioner. And there were a number of DOs, including my own DO in Amisi, for many years, Mzee Guledi, who didn't even know how to read and write.
But
it was a very good DO.
Moi trying to place them.
Moi placed them in places because to rehabilitate them, to bring them back on fold. And again, the politics was also part of it. Because you remember, over the years, the northeastern region has always worked with the government of the day. They never vote elsewhere. They always vote with the government of the day. That part of the history. So to entrench that so that they continue voting for Moi, and then after Uhuru, you keep tossing jobs to them. Then you realize, somehow they seem to occupy all the sensitive security dockets, and people begin to talk. And this talk is healthy, it's normal, nobody should read malice into it. It's an issue we need to face as Kenyans.
Okay.
And we must therefore agree that much as it is a complex situation, the Somali are here to stay. They are a part of this country.
Richard here asked Arap Kirwa, former minister, why he believes Farouk is, not Farouk, but Farah Maalim is angry as he is. And the former minister said he's angry because he says that President Uhuru killed many Somalis, and the way he's speaking is actually demonstrating that he's still bitter up to now. From where you sit, what is the responsibility of these leaders when it comes to this national outlook? Their community is being discriminated, but you listen to someone like Farah Maalim speaking, and then everyone is profiling the community because he's one of the top leaders from that particular community.
I think it's just complex. Some of them are just stupid people. But, you know, some people also think if they speak like that, they'll catch the president's eye. The prosecution that occurred, the Wagala massacre, I'm saying there's a really objective reality to this issue, the historical objective reality. For example, the Wagala massacre. But there has been a new chapter. Of course, the attendant discriminative actions like during the issuance of passports and ID is informed partly by the fact that we run a very fluid situation on the boundary where if you are issuing somebody a Somali an ID, is it really a Kenyan? You need to find out. But sometimes the government overdoes it. But by and large, to answer your question, I think most leaders always work with the government. So for Farah Maalim to say that Uhuru persecuted the Somali, I don't want to buy that because, on the contrary, he gave them more than their fair share.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is the responsibility now of someone like Farah Maalim? Because he's one of the leaders seen representing the Somali community.
Yes.
What is their responsibility? Even Junet Mohammed, as he's posting about it is Gachagua attacking the Somali.
They must help. They must not antagonize the harmony that there is in the country when it comes to Somali being part of Kenya. They should not spoil that for the Somali and for themselves. Junet Mohammed, for example, is a Somali, but he's a Luo.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden he wants us to know he's a Somali. Fine, Junet Mohammed, we will tweak to you as a Somali. Because so far we know you are a Luo. But if you are quick to jump to the defense of the Somali, then we will treat you as a Somali. Then you will not even get votes from where you get, because there are no Somalis to vote for you there. These are Luos, and they vote for you because they know you are one of us. Farah Maalim must know that Somalis are everywhere in this country. In my home in Vihiga, in Mbale, which is our headquarters, all businessmen are Somali. And we don't find anything wrong with that because we know they are part of us. They are Kenyans. Even some of them speak our language. But now Farah Maalim wants to remind us that they are not part of us. They are Somalis. They are doing more disservice to the people they claim to be protecting than they are helping them. Let Kenyans live with their Somali brothers and sisters, because that's the reality. The Somali are brothers and sisters to Kenyans. We are the same people. So when you stand up you see, it is one thing for a Kikuyu to defend a Kikuyu in the manner in which we have said. For a Luya to say we are being finished. But when it comes to the Somali, it's much more sensitive. What people like Farah Maalim, who is my friend, is doing, by the way, we used to appear with him on our show. Yeah. And my car was I left it Nation Center, Apo Chini. Ikakuwa clammed. He paid for me. I didn't know how to pay. Yeah. So the system captured him. Okay. So every time my car is if it is the message will go to him. Oh. Yeah, so we are good buddies. Yeah. What Farah Maalim is, he knows he's not one of the people from the region who are high-profile politicians. Of course, the most high-profile politician currently is, what is this secretary? CS, what is his name? Duale. And there are others who are business people, strong, known by the community. Then there are people like Nurdin Haji. There are people like Grand Mullah. These are the respected names from that area. He's trying to penetrate the list, to make it to the list. You don't do it that way. That is a stupid way of doing things.
Must be a national figure.
Yeah, and don't light fires. The Somalis are everywhere in this country. Forget about even government appointment. I'm not even bothered about those appointments. I'm looking at, when I open my door at home, I don't need to drive for 10 minutes before I find a Somali businessman. They are everywhere, including the villages. And that's how it should be. Because we are all Kenyans.
Because they're the ones now that have brought this Somali Kikuyu thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there.
It wasn't there. It's not there.
And now we are looking at it.
If Gachagua has a beef with Haji, let it remain at Gachagua and Nurdin Haji. Why do you bring in the Kikuyus? Why do you bring the Somali? They are not there. If there are benefits, does not the Somali get the benefits? Does the Kikuyu get the benefit because Gachagua has gotten? No. So I want to warn Junet Mohammed, who is my friend, Farah Mohammed, who is my friend, and people like them. Let Kenyans remain as Kenyans, regardless of whether they are Somali or Kikuyu or Luo or Luya or anything or Pokomo. Wasitulete hiyo ujinga hiyo.
Thanks for tuning into that conversation. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.